Strolling here all late. Walter, we ready?
I'm sorry, I was getting shook down in the lobby. I had somebody trying to hit me up about a shirt.
Once we see the screen, I think we're good to go. I'd like to call to order our Community Redevelopment Agency regular meeting. The date is September 11th and the time is 6:17 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chair Lawson,
Here.
Vice Chair McCoy,
Here.
Commissioner Miller Anderson,
Present.
Commissioner Lanier,
Here.
Commissioner Spiritus.
Here, and
Also-
please, for the record, I'd like to state that I am out because of an illness.
Also present, Attorney Chris Smith with Pittman Law Group, CRA Attorney, Scott Evans, Interim Executive Director, Anita Jenkins, Director of Neighborhood Services, Shirley Desir, Interim CRA Clerk.
Thank you. If we can have a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner Lanier.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any additions, deletions, or substitutions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner? Vice Chair, go ahead.
Please.
There's been a request to delete 7B. Do we have a second?
What does that mean? Bring it back or just for tonight?
Delete it.
Delete from tonight's
And I
agenda?
didn't know, does it require a vote?
Yes. To remove it from the agenda, yes.
So staff can add stuff to the agenda, but a commissioner who's mandated or has the authority by statute has to vote on it. Okay. All right. So I guess
So
if my request is not going to be honored, I'll just leave on that item.
Okay, so there was a request to delete it. Do we have anyone that has any objections? Do we want to proceed with that? Commissioner Lanier, Dr. Spiritus, Commissioner Miller Anderson?
Which one was it that he wanted to delete?
7B.
I hope I have the support of legal and administration in deleting it.
Would legal or administration like to opine on the item before we proceed?
Mr. Chair,
You recognize Ms. Evans?
I believe this is the landscape contract.
Yes.
I would just ask direction from the board on what they would like us to, they would like us to proceed if the item is being deleted.
Okay.
I have no problem with the item. I asked the CRA director to send me a list of those maintenance locations because when I saw the item, I wanted to make sure that I knew where we were talking about. And there's about 31 owned properties through the CRA that they're looking at to do maintenance for. That was my question, and I got that one answered.
Mr. Chair,
Dr. Spiritus?
hey, I'm a little concerned with this item and the fact that no local landscape is responded. I know that it went through the procurement process, but you know my concerns with reference to that the local vendors don't go online and aren't on that site. And I would, of course, prefer that we widen our procurement advertising and notices.
So we can have discussion about the item if we want to proceed. Commissioner McCoy has requested to remove it. So if we want to keep it on the agenda, we can have this discussion. But there was a request to remove.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner McCoy, you recognize.
So I see we have our procurement director, and maybe she can now come and give us some answers on the record. I was trying to take the road of not having to embarrass anybody, but this lacks legal sufficiency in a number of different ways. But since the board wants to go ahead and have this discussion, let's do it. But somebody needs to be responsible for why we come to meetings when we get half-baked items. This is why I don't spend my time in agenda review.
So I think that before we bring up our procurement director, we can either hear the item if staff and legal have already recommended that we proceed with it, or they can request from staff to remove it unless we have some support for
It
commission.
don't work like that, Chair, because if you can count, I think I made the third person that walked in this room. And I got a flight first thing in the morning. And what I don't have is time to play. So if you guys want to sit here and pump fake, I'll walk right out the door.
Additional comments from the board? Okay, I
Gonna be
would like,
deleted?
I'm sorry?
Is it gonna be deleted?
It was a request from Commissioner McCoy. Do we have any objections to having his request deleted? I haven't heard any objections. I heard one individual said that they would like to keep it. They have no problem with it. Dr. Spiritus said that he had some concerns, but he didn't opine on how he would like to proceed. So commissioners, how would we like to proceed with the item?
Got about
Mr.
2
Chair?
minutes, I'm telling you.
I would like to hear the item. We can vote either way, up or down. That's the purpose of having the items on the agenda. If you don't like it or you have a question, that's the questions for the staff to answer. And that's the questions for the procurement director to answer. So we do still have a quorum, so we can move forward with it.
We no longer have a
Miss-
quorum.
And we can
If
continue.
he's out for illness, yes, we do.
Well, they have to be present, so they can vote, but because they're not present, we don't have a quorum. So being that we do not have a quorum, this meeting's adjourned.